Hello, it's Sonia here, The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Tuesday, and that means it's Tunisian Tuesday. So I'm going to be using my eye hook, or a 5.5mm hook, and I'm just going to use number 4 worsted weight yarn. We're going to be doing a stitch pattern today, and to do this particular stitch pattern, you'll need to chain a multiple of 10, and then you'll add 2. So I went ahead and chained 12. And we're going to work on row 1. So in the back bump of our chain, in the second bump for my hook, I'm just pulling up a loop, and we're just going to continue to pull up loops all the way across our chain. Now you don't have to pull up your loops this way. You can work in your chain however you like, but for Tunisian crochet, I just like this method the best. I just think it's the easiest, looks the nicest. It's just my personal preference. I have seen some other videos where they don't work in the chain this way. So if you're thinking that, you know, this is the only way to do it, it's not. It's just my preferred method. So that's why I do it like this and show it in all my videos. Okay, so we have 12 loops on our hook, and we're going to work these off. So you're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. And if you've never done Tunisian crochet, I do have a playlist that I'll place a link in the description box that goes over the basics, getting you started, basic stitches you should know, and other techniques. And I also have stitch patterns and actual patterns as well in that playlist. All right, so there is row 1. That is our setup row. So actually the first 4 rows will be the setup row for this particular stitch pattern. All right, so we're going to work a Tunisian purl stitch in that first vertical bar. And then we're going to work 8 Tunisian simple stitches. So just pulling up our loops, working Tunisian simple. So now we have these 8 Tunisian simple stitches. So now we're going to work another purl stitch. We have 2 stitches left. So this is the second to the last stitch. We're working Tunisian purl. And then in that last stitch, that looks like a chain. We're going to pull up a loop. And that is our forward pass. So each row is worked in 2 parts. So the first part, we're putting our stitches on our hook, which we did right now, the forward pass. And then the second part, which we're going to do, we're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 is the second part of our row, and that is the return pass. So Tunisian crochet is a little bit unique, where each row you need to do 2 steps. Okay, so there is row 2. So rows 3 and 4, you're just repeating row 2, working that Tunisian purl, and then the 8 simple stitches, and then the Tunisian purl, and then the stitch that looks like a chain in the end, and then you work your return pass. So I'm going to go finish up working rows 3 and 4, and I'll meet you back. All right, so there we go. I have my 4 rows. So now we're going to start the repeat. So this is row 5. So row 5, we're working that Tunisian purl stitch. And then we're going to work our Tunisian simple stitch. Now we're going to do an increase, but we're going to try to do it as invisibly as we can. So on the top, so here is the front of our work. So that's our next vertical bar. But right on the top of it there, so let me grab my handy double pointed needle. So you can see like a little nub, like a little bump. We're going to insert our hook on that bump right there to work the increase, and that will give you an almost invisible increase. So just inserting your hook there, we're going to pull up a loop. So now we've worked an increase. So this is the Tunisian simple section here. So we have 1, 2. So now we're going to go in this vertical bar. So 3, 4. So we have 4 Tunisian simple stitches, and we've worked that increase there. Now we're going to do a Tunisian simple decreaser together. So you're going to insert your hook in the next 2 vertical bars, just like that. and pull up a loop. And now we're going to work 3 more Tunisian simple stitches and work that Tunisian purl stitch, and then in that last stitch there. And so we still have 12 loops on our hook, but we worked that little decrease there. Now we work these off, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. All right, so now let's work row 6. We're going to again work that Tunisian purl stitch, Tunisian simple. Now we're going to do the increase. So here's that next vertical bar right behind it. You can see there's that bump. Insert your hook in that bump, pull up a loop, and we're going to work Tunisian simple, continue across until we get to the decrease. So it's really easy to tell where the decrease is because you can see where it looks like a triangle here. So you're going to work Tunisian simple until you get to the triangle. So here we are. So you can see that. So now we're going to do another decrease. And we're going to work 2 more Tunisian simple stitches and work Tunisian purl, and then work in that last stitch. And now we work these guys off like we normally do. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. Okay, so that is row 6. Now let's work row 7. And row 7 is going to be just like row 6, but we're just moving the decrease stitch over by 1. All right, we work that Tunisian simple. Now we go and work that increase on top of that bump, and then continue working Tunisian simple. So your stitches in the middle here will always have 8 Tunisian simple stitches. So that's how you know that you're doing it right. You're always going to have the 8 stitches there of Tunisian simple. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we are at, there's that triangle there. We're going to work the Tunisian decrease together. And then we have 1 more stitch for the Tunisian simple section. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we do have our 8 stitches. Work that Tunisian purl and then our last stitch. And we're going to work these guys off like we normally do. Okay, so there is row 7. So row 8, again, it's going to be a repeat of row 7, except your decrease just gets pushed over, so you can see it's kind of slanting like that. So our first stitch is Tunisian purl, Tunisian simple. We do our increase in that bump, and then we continue to work Tunisian simple across until we get to the decrease section. So there it is, and we're going to work that decrease. And now we work Tunisian purl and work in the stitch, our last stitch there, and we work them off. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. So what we're going to do is you're going to be repeating rows 5 through 8 for however long you want your swatch. So you can see it kind of gives like a faux cable-esque effect. It just gives like a neat little texture there. So just a little, so your first stitch is Tunisian simple, or Tunisian purl, I'm sorry, Tunisian simple, and then we do that increase. And then we want to have 4 Tunisian simple stitches before we do the decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, And now we're going to do that decrease. And then there should be 3 stitches left of the Tunisian simple section. And now we have our 8 Tunisian simple stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we just finish up the row here and then work your return pass. So again, repeat rows 5 through 8 for however long you want your swatch. Okay, so here is my swatch, so you can see, I think it's really pretty. When it's like this, it almost looks like waves like that, but it does have like that cable look to it. So to do the bind off, we're just going to work in pattern. So I am just going to bind off that first stitch in Tunisian purl and then bind off in Tunisian simple in the next 8 stitches. And if you're not familiar with bind off, it just helps your Tunisian project to look its best, give it that finished look. And I do go over that in that playlist. And then we, we work the Tunisian purls, bind off, and then in that last stitch, so you can see it does curl a little bit, but not too bad. And I do think it's really, really pretty. I mean, you could definitely incorporate a lot of these to make, you know, a scarf, any type of project really, that you could have fun with this guy. And if you had more, because then you'd have the purls in between, it might help it to lay a little bit more flat. Purl stitches are your friends with that. But I hope you enjoyed this stitch pattern, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.